how the fuck do you walk around smelling your own farts like that, thinking you're high and
Hold
mighty?
on. You met a Mormon?
Well, I grew up Mormon, but like not anymore.
Like the old Mormon? Like I never met one before. Are they really super nice like on South Park?
Oh yeah,
and you can't offend them or nothing?
Yeah.
I've never met a Mormon.
Hey, there you go. You
You've never met? Like I had to turn away from my house 2 or 3.
They don't come in our neighborhood.
Are they really good at making fire?
They do not
what?
like Jehovah's Witnesses.
We get Jehovah's Witnesses.
So what?
Are they really good at making fireplaces?
Wait.
Is that a thing?
Is that a Mormon
question?
Is that like a stereotype? Is it?
They make good fireplaces?
Isn't that the thing?
What a chimney sweep?
No, like
well, and that's everyone gets me on polygamy, and it's like
that's that stereotype.
That's real.
Do you?
But those are FLDS. Those
No,
are
those are FLDS.
They live out in the
from the Mormon tree,
and they live in the fucking
kind of
desert
like,
in the middle of nowhere.
Are they like Quakers?
Not over legitimacy.
They look kind of like Quakers.
I think I've seen those.
Yeah,
not like
over. They want to be able to fuck multiple spouses.
Pretty much, yeah. Desert Quakers. Yeah.
They got electricity and stuff, though, right?
Yeah, they have all of that. But they dress in like clothes they make themselves, and then the weird.
How would we survive if we had to make our own clothes?
We would go to the Mormons.
We wouldn't.
We would go to the Mormons
straight.
Because the Mormons and Quakers have been preparing for this for forever.
I think they have. Yeah.
They literally have been like, look, when society shuts down, you heathens will come to pasture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were thinking about Amish.
I was thinking about Amish. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Amish are the fun.
I mean, they look super. I mean, like
they look very similar.
No, they don't.
Well, if you go back into Mormon history, the Amish people and like all of that said, "Get the fuck out of here, you crazy Mormon bastards!" And they went west.
Yeah, they told them, "Look, you're not Amish. Get the fuck
Mormon
out."
is really a branch of Amish, kind of.
Well,
it's not a branch.
No. Was that South Park episode correct of how the religion was found?
That's the thing. South Park is so accurate to like. It kills me.
He went into the woods. He found a book, and it's like, God damn it, this Jesus.
I'm gonna tell you what happened in the book. And then he lost the book and said, "Can you redo it again?" And then he told the same story but slightly different.
Dum 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 dum.
That's how it happened. That's how it happened.
Seriously, so accurate. Like growing up, high school, there was always one black kid in school. One, and it's like
token.
Token.
No. He's like, no, not stereotype. Like literally. Token.
Well, no, but
any white people in our high school?
Yeah, we had that one white kid.
What?
Remember that one guy who tried to act really like hood?
That's the funniest. Oh my god!
Yeah, one fat guy, kind of big. He was like country hood. Like,
yeah, he was country hood. He was like, who was that
I
rapper?
remember one Asian guy from elementary school and one white guy. That's the one you were talking. I was cool with that white guy.
Yeah, no, he wasn't a problem. Like,
yeah, I got culture shock when I went to college. Like, oh my god, they really do outnumber us.
I mean, if you lived in Georgia all your life,
it's a real thing. Yeah. Every black person at one point be like, okay. It is a lot of them. I didn't think it was that many, but yeah, it's a lot of these.
Did you ever go to New York? Come on, man.
New York, you see everything.
I know, but New York, if you went to Manhattan Island, you're like, there's an entire island of them, millions of them.
But it's a lot of.
It's literally a place I can't infiltrate.
But that's the thing. So in New York, people don't identify by the color of their skin. All of them identify they're either Irish. They're German, they're Italian.
Cultural heritage.
Yeah, that's what they identify.
That's like most places in the world, though. Tribalism and where you from.
But here it's like
black,
I'm
white.
I'm from here. It's totally different what's identified with. So I think that's where
I have a question for you.
Came in. Okay.
You ever met the Latino people who think they're white?
Yes.
What is that about?
They're in my family.
Yeah. So, what's that about? Like, do they realize that when it come down to it, they would deport you too? Right.
They don't get
not know that.
Oh, okay.
They genuinely, they don't. Yeah, well, this is something that I was talking about the other day. I went to Puerto Rico and I went to the movies and I watched Equalizer too. And they had subtitles on the bottom. So the N-word was actually translated into negro. Negro in Spanish, in the Caribbean specifically, is a term of endearment. So I was like, this is where the damn confusion comes in. I was like, because that's not...
They use the N-word, don't they? Some of them up in New York. Because I was with
but it's
Puerto
not...
Ricans up in New York. They was like, nigga. I was like, I'm not
people
from... I'm not at home.
Yeah, but that's what's specific. When you're amongst certain people, they call each other
North Babylon.
Yeah.
That's North Babylon.
North Babylon is a little, So it's just really interesting because they have other words that they use that are more derogatory towards black people. So like if you ever hear somebody call you a moyo, you could punch them in the mouth
That's what I didn't know.
Yeah.
You got called?
You got people. Nah, I'm just saying. You realize that there's people calling you things, and you don't know how bad of a word it is in their culture. You don't even know to get offended.
Yeah.
When she told me that, I was like,
It makes you feel kind of dumb, though.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody could have called me a moyo
so why
before.
would you know that?
But now, at the same time, it's like, yeah, I'm aware of that now, so I'm looking out for it. But that also means I just gave that word a lot of power.
Wow.
Now that I know it and I categorize it as something that I should be offended by.
I didn't know about those dolls from Tales from the Hood. That was a real thing.
The dolls on part 2?
Yeah.
We just watched
my
part
God.
2 the other day.
Yeah.
Bro.
Those dolls are a real thing. I didn't know that was a real thing.
What
Yeah.
reference? I don't know.
What are they
Gollywogs.
called?
So Gollywag walks
Yeah,
Yeah.
are basically like racist dolls that were created to like let little white babies have like a black mammy like
Cloth doll.
that would give them comfort.
They're super dark, ugly dolls.
They're super dark. They're generally derogatory as far as features. So ugly.
Big lips.
Big lips and whatnot.
Like super exaggerated.
Yeah.
Extremely
Like,
exaggerated.
yeah.
I seen a nigga that was. I never admitted that.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Like it, but-
For the sake of time, because that segment ran over, I'm going to skip Halloween facts. So, unfortunately, all those shot glasses I brought y'all aren't going to be used.
We can still use them.
Give him 10 minutes.
Give them 10 minutes.
Yeah, do it.
Well, no, I've got 2 segments I want to hit.
Okay.
So, the first one I want to hit is, what is your favorite urban legend or Halloween villain?
Villain.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, I'm just going to stick with Candyman.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
movie and
go with
everything with the
Candyman.
bees, and you get it. Because I still haven't done it. Candyman. Bathroom lights, something like that, just like Bloody Mary.
nah.
Yeah.
I've
You
done
won't
it.
do
Nothing
it.
happened.
I've done.
You
it
did
before.
Bloody Mary?
I did all of them.
Ooh.
Wouldn't
That
do
was
it.
when I
That's
was
gangster.
younger.
That's real
You
gangster.
still
None of
didn't
my
do it.
parents.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Candyman.
You realize he's going to kill you first, right?
Right. Well, they would have been.
I'm still not doing it.
Even after the assurance of you and your story, not going to do it.
Glad you
Sure,
survived.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Armstead, what you got?
I would. Hey, okay. Well, I can't say the same thing he said. So,
Yeah, that's why I said it first.
yeah. So I would say.
Just go for the movies. Jason, Voorhees.
You know what? I'm gonna go
Pinhead.
with. No, actually, not even that. I'm actually gonna
Pinhead
go
was
with.
awesome.
Yeah, it
Hellraiser.
was. But I'm gonna go with the.
The Toy,
I like-
Toy Story.
No, I actually liked how Kane did in See No Evil. I like how he did that.
Kane?
Yeah, you ever seen the show, the movie?
I
See
saw
No
it.
Evil?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. I like how he did. You know, I want to be. Of course, I can always say Jason or Michael Myers. I want to be different.
Classics.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm
That's
saying. So
what
I'm gonna go.
Hellraiser wins, bro.
I'm gonna
telling
go
you.
out of the box, and I'm just gonna say I like how he
Kane.
did that.
Or you can name a weird movie that's not supposed to be scary, but it was scary.
Like E.T.
Oh my God,
That
that's
was
Oh, shit.
When I was little, and he like the first time you see him, and he comes screaming out of that shed, scared the shit out of me.
The hell is that?
But don't aliens come down in Utah? And,
We could get into crazy shit you see in the desert, but you know,
Actually, let's get into crazy shit that you see in the desert.
lots of crazy shit. The skinwalkers, Sasquatches. I mean, like
Multiple Sasquatches?
No, there's more than one, man. They got a whole crew.
nice.
Yeti brown. You know,
They got a herd.
No, they have fur in the desert and they're still alive and they're
it
walking
gets
around.
cold at night, man.
Oh, real cold?
Like
does get cold.
30 below.
Never been
sometimes.
there that long.
Strange lights though, but like you got to think you're out in the middle of fucking nowhere, so there's lots more like stars and stuff you can see.
What are stars?
I haven't seen any of those since I came down here. Too many goddamn trees.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of weird lights. Look up at night
I
and
not
like
seen stars?
stuff going backwards.
Not
And
like you see them there.
Wow.
but then there's Dugway out there, which is like super secret military agent contract, and like half the time you think they're just experimental aircrafts doing all sorts of crazy shit.
So it could be aliens.
Yeah, Dugway is like Area 51 for Utah.
Yeah.
Like you get
Never
within.
heard of it. You informed me
Yeah.
of something I didn't know about. I'm going to Google it later.
Google.
Look, it's crazy. If you get within like 20 yards of their fence, cops show up out of nowhere and like escort you out of the area. Like,
They don't want you to go over there. They're trying to protect you from whatever it is that's over there.
Let's go.
well, what they tell you is like they're testing missiles and shit, so like you could come up on some.
But you never hear any explosions.
No, exactly. So weird shit you see in the desert.
They don't do crop circles out there.
Nah.
No, there's not enough
there's
crops.
not-
to
There-
make a
there's-
circle.
there's-
They can do cactus circles.
Ooh. Well, I guess on that, like,
But you have to grow the cactus. The thing about crop circles is it's easy for you to get enough crop to make a circle out of. Cactus, you're gonna be doing a decade plus.
you know what a Joshua tree is?
Oh God, not the Joshua
We
trees.
don't.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright, explain it.
they're just a weird looking fucking desert tree, but like so southern Utah deserts. This is also in Native American areas, old res areas. We'll be out there climbing, doing desert shit, and then you're driving through the forest, and these weird alien looking trees just sort of pop out of nowhere, and they kind of look like weird fucking people.
Oh shit.
Like them little cactus things on Final
Trees
Fantasy.
that look like people will fuck me
Yeah,
up.
no, kind of, but
But in like
It's something
dark
about
too,
it.
so these things come up out of nowhere.
why is there gonna be?
In the middle of
Joshua
nowhere,
trees.
right?
Yeah, middle of nowhere. There's people like
Yeah, that's some weird shit.
closest people are like 50 miles away from you, and like you roll up on one of these with your headlights, and it like scare the shit out of you.
I can see that.
Lots of weird noises. I mean, how could you not be freaked out in this part of the world? The hills have eyes is like
Yeah,
what
the hills
freaks
have
me out.
eyes is like the base. It's like that's the starting of the kind of area that you're in. This is a lawless no man's land that somehow got lumped into the United States of America.
Any other horror legends for anyone else? Whatever.
I mean, I've got one if nobody else has any more.
Nah.
So my second
sorry
favorite
for using
one would
Candyman.
probably be your sister. So your sister's a pretty interesting one. Basically, if you're ever riding the Japanese
I feel
metro,
attacked. What, you're
I was
not
about
talking about my
you know what I mean?
sister.
Like
No,
whose
no.
sister?
My mom.
Somebody else have a sister?
Mom.
I got 3 of them, bro. What's going on?
Continuing on, your sister is a Japanese horror story that goes like this. It's an urban legend. You are riding the Japanese metro.
You don't know me.
Weird-looking woman comes up to everyone and starts trying to ask them questions and poking and prodding at people. When you see Japanese people, they will ignore her. Problem comes when you goddamn Americans come over there and you make eye contact. And then she'll begin poking and prodding you. And if you make any noise, if you make any movement, if you in any way act as if this weird lady is someone that you know, then you're about to have a problem. So you'll go back, you'll be like, wow, that was a weird experience. Go back to your hotel room. It'll be fine. You'll travel back to your house, and all of a sudden, that same weird-looking woman is now in your house. And it's like as if every other person has just thought that this person has lived in your life this entire time. Slowly but surely, your sister will take over what was your life, becoming best friends with whoever your intimate partner is, eventually causing that person to leave you for them, and basically infiltrate your entire life until there's nothing left. And then at the very end, she eats you. Bit by bit.
Hey, I know this isn't even in the book right now, but
Yeah.
can I ask people a question, all right?
Sure.
What's
ask
your
a question.
favorite horror movie?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like recently, of course, there's a classic. Like just to give you one, when you were telling the story, it made me think of this movie called It Follows. It was so bad, but I loved it.
I love
Yeah,
that.
it's a good premise. It's a good
That's all
premise,
I
but
do.
the villain is very easy to beat, and that's kind of the problem.
That's
Because
why it's
it
kinda hard
can
for me to
only
think.
follow you
It
at
didn't
the
get
speed
beat.
at which a person can walk.
Yeah.
So if you just fly to New Zealand, it'll take the thing damn near 6 months to walk all the way over to there, and then you just fly back. Like, just you need to become some sort of BuzzFeed reporter.
Yeah, but
Shout out to
but
BuzzFeed.
she's coming.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming, but it takes it. The problem is that it has to come at you at the rate at which a person can walk, and that is like the easiest thing to exploit because you know that you just have to wait.
And then you just got bang a prostitute with no rubber on or something like that, right?
Well, I mean,
Because they
the
never
pro-
talked about protection or anything.
Well, no.
That's how you pass
That's
it on.
that's what It Follows is. It's basically
Yeah.
a metaphor for
Sexual
abstinence.
disease?
No, it's a metaphor for abstinence because it only affects people who have who have promiscuous sex. So if you don't ever have sex outside of marriage, you would never be hurt because it's highly unlikely that your partner is going to be dealing with It Follows.
Unless you cheated on you.
Unless they cheat on,
Or you
but
cheat.
even
I didn't
then,
pass it
most
on.
of the time when the people pass the
It's passed through
monster,
sex.
they tell you about the monster because that's part of like the thing. Like they have to tell you that hey, you're going to now have something that's going to follow. It's going to appear as probably something really weird, like an old woman or old guy, and it's just going to keep walking to you at normal human place. If it ever catches you, it's going to essentially rape you and kill you after
I don't remember
during.
the rape. I thought it was
Yeah.
No, didn't you remember the part where the guy's mother knocks on his door and the girl's like, "No, don't open the door." Then he opens the door and then she just jumps in there and then the girl takes a peek and it's just riding on
Not
top
really
of the
sure
guy.
what rape looks like, but I'm pretty sure that was maybe
I'm
like
pretty
a
sure he
weird
didn't want his
attack.
mom to have sex with him, or what he thought was his mom to have sex with him.
Oh, I gotta watch it again. Cause
Yeah,
I
you
don't
gotta
know.
watch it again
Yeah, because
because.
you're adding rape
That
in there.
sounds like the scariest part of the whole movie. What?
Well, no, because it happens to the boy. Because remember, the guy doesn't believe them, and he just stays locked into his room. And then eventually, like, he thinks... Because remember, the monster can shapeshift.
Correct.
And that's the thing about it is it shapeshifts into his mom,